Will the US dollar continue its move up? Let's talk about it in this week's Forex Forecast. All right, starting things off with the call report for the US dollar. The past week, the banks got rid of 987 long contracts, and they also added about 655 short contracts. Now, first things first, looking at the daily chart of the DXY, something very significant has taken place. We had a downward trend line here and supply, and both of those were removed. So in my opinion, this price action here on the daily chart is an indication that we could go up here on the DXY. Now, it doesn't mean that we're not going to pull back down to here first and then maybe rally up from there. So we could be getting a pullback in the DXY or in the US dollar, but that's an indication on the daily chart that the US dollar is gaining strength. And as you can see here on my 4-chart layout, we have an uptrend on the 1-hour chart, uptrend on the 4-hour chart. Things are looking strong, guys. And if you go to a weekly chart here, the largest time frame that I use on this chart link, you can see in the weekly chart here, we are coming off of weekly demand. It's reacted off of it once before, so we are currently rallying up to there. And if you look, there's a lot of profit margin, guys, up to at least 110. So we have this fresh weekly supply up above. I could see us in the long run going up to this supply at about 110. Now, it doesn't mean we're just going to go straight up there, right away. I'm sure we will have some hiccups in the road. Who knows? Maybe we even pull back a little bit first again and then rally up. So what I'm seeing, we lost momentum on the daily chart like I showed you guys. Price is rallying up. We need to look for buys in the DXY for the time being. So with that being said, when you watch the rest of the forecast here, keep that in mind with the US dollar that we are starting to see bullish signs with the downward daily momentum being lost and a 4-hour and a 1-hour uptrend with a lot of profit margin up to about 110 for the long term. And for medium term targets, guys, I mean, we could definitely see price get up to like 106 for sure. Forecast for the Euro US dollar. The past week, the banks got rid of 1.6 thousand longs, and they also got rid of 9.2 thousand shorts. Looking at a weekly chart here, top-down approach, we did react off of some sort of 3-month supply up above. Now we are pushing back down. On the weekly chart here, yes, the overall momentum is up, but just looking at this most recent price action on the weekly chart, it does to me look like we want to pull back to this weekly demand at 1.07. So to me, it is looking like the euro is going to pull back down to there. Now, just like I said on the dollar, but the opposite, we could pull back first and then rally down. So we'll have to monitor the lower time frames to see what's going on. And if you look on the daily chart here, I pointed this out to the members as well, but we do have a daily supply zone here. We could see price maybe move off of that daily supply, something like that, if we do rally back up to there. But in the meantime, we have price rallying down. We actually did lose momentum here on the 1-hour chart, but if you look here, we actually had a very nice move off of this 4-hour supply zone here, and this is actually a 4-hour supply zone that I pointed out to the Diamond members in the daily market breakdown that I do every day before the London session and for the New York session. So that's for the Diamond members, guys. If you are interested and you want to check out some of the results from the Diamond members, this is how you do it. You go to my Instagram at FXTelepath, and then you go to my profile, click on the trades icon there, and then you can go through and see a lot of the results from the daily market breakdown. So if you guys want to trade with me in more depth and get my market breakdown videos every single day, check it out. Only looking for serious traders who are looking to learn and get better at their trading. So check it out. Links in the description down below to Patreon or the YouTube membership. So that was a trade in the euro. Not really seeing much else. We are seeing loss of momentum here on the 1-hour chart. We could rally off this demand, push up to that daily supply that we were just talking about on the euro. So as far as longs go, this would be my area I would look for day trading longs in. And as far as shorts go, we kind of need to see this 1-hour demand be removed first before we continue to look for shorts, or we just wait for the daily supply to be hit for shorts as well. All right, on to the forecast for gold. The past week, the banks got rid of 11,000 longs, and they also added 4.7 thousand shorts. Looking at the weekly chart here, we are at this high for the for the third time now. So it's really the question, are we going to pull back to demand and then rally up, or are we just going to rally up from here? Because at the end of the day, I think gold will probably continue to go to all-time highs. That's my honest opinion, guys. We just need to break out of this long-term range. Now, we can look for evidence on the lower time frames to see what is going to take place. And if you look, well, On the 4-hour chart, we have lost momentum. We are currently pushing down, so that's one sign. But first, we need to look at the daily chart. We still actually have a pretty strong daily uptrend. We are into this daily demand here at 1984. But if you look, this daily demand is tested now once, twice, three, fourth time, tested very deep. So what I think is happening is we're actually going to break lower. Now, you can see the last day we've had a bullish day in gold, so we could actually rally up to like 2010 and then roll back down to like 1930. That's definitely a possibility. But as far as trading gold goes now, there's a few options. If you are bearish on gold on the 4-hour chart here at 2006, we have that 4-hour supply right here. We could see a move off of that 4-hour supply like that. And it's pretty much the only supply zone I see on gold. If you look on the 1-hour chart here, we have 1-hour demand here. If you are bullish gold, you could use this 1-hour demand for day trading confirmation scalping maybe, but it's pretty low odds in my opinion. And as far as shorts go, we need to wait for this 1-hour supply to be removed. And if we're left with 1-hour demand to be removed, and if we're left with 1-hour supply, that would be your potential trade on gold to the short side down to like 1930. And the reason I'm saying shorts are probably better is because, like I said, this daily demand that we are in is very tested, and I think we're going to roll back over to fresh demand down at like 1930 on gold. All right, on to the USDJPY forecast. The past week, the banks added 11,000 longs, and they also added 7.2 thousand shorts. Now, the weekly chart for the USD yen is looking very similar to the DXY. We have a lot of profit margin up to at least 146 on the USD yen here to this weekly area of supply. So I think in the long run, we could be headed up to there. Doesn't mean we're just going to shoot right up. We're definitely going to be most likely struggling to get up there. And if you look at the daily chart here, you can clearly see that the daily momentum is actually it's up here. So we actually have a daily momentum and daily uptrend here at this point on the USD yen. Now we have a supply zone at 138 right here. We've reacted off of it almost well, once, almost twice, almost 3 times. So I think we could see some downward moves on the USD yen, maybe down to like 136.5, maybe 136.8, maybe something like that, to then fuel for a bigger push up. So if you want to get more refined here, if you go to a 4-hour chart, maybe just down to this 4-hour demand. So I think maybe price could go down to this 4-hour demand and then rally up on the USD yen. So that's what I'd be looking for to see happen here on USD yen, because at the end of the day, guys, we have strong trends on the daily, 4-hour, and the 1-hour chart. We don't really want to be trading against those trends. We just want to be trading with a pullback to the upside. Yes, we are reacting off of daily supply, so we could see a larger move down, but at the end of the day, the trends are strong, so we need to continue to look for buys. GBPUSD forecast. The past week, the banks added 5.8 thousand longs, and they also got rid of 2.2 thousand shorts. Weekly chart here is not showing nothing but strong momentum, but at the end of the day, we have had one pretty significant red candle on the weekly chart. So to me, it looks like we are starting to see a little bit of a pullback on the daily chart here. Yes, the overall trend is up, but as far as this, this most recent price action here, if we can zoom in, as far as this most recent price action here, we are just kind of going sideways. So now it's a question of, are we going to pull up to this daily supply and then roll over, or are we just going to pull back down to this daily demand and rally up from here? So these are the two supply and demand zones I'd be having on your chart at 1.22 for demand, and then for supply at 1.26. So those are the two supplies or zones I see on the GBPUSD. As far as trading setups go, we could just look for shorts coming off that daily supply that I just pointed out. Other than that, really not seeing a whole lot for trading decisions right now, because it's definitely confusing. We've lost trend on the 1-hour chart. We were kind of just going sideways right now, reacting off of supply and demand. So tricky times right now in GBPUSD, guys, to be quite honest. But at the end of the day, it is looking probably the strongest out of all the pairs, just as far as the weekly chart goes. So tricky times, guys. I would focus more on that daily supply at 1.26 more than anything. USDCAD forecast. The past week, the banks got rid of 368 longs, and they also got rid of about 1,000 shorts. Looking at the daily chart here, really not loving this chart. A lot of sideways price action. I am still waiting for this zone at the extreme on the daily chart to look for potential shorts. Yes, we have daily supply at 1.35. We could see a move off that supply zone, but I think the bigger move would come from the supply zone above. So that's why I'm waiting for that daily supply to be hit before trading. As far as day trading goes, there's really even not a lot going on here either, guys, because due to the nature just of these sideways actions. So you even have 4-hour demand here, but just very poor quality demand. Look at the quality of this demand here. A lot of stair-stepping patterns, really not great whatsoever. If you come to a 1-hour chart, we have really all I'm seeing is this 1-hour chart, guys. So if you guys are day traders, scalpers, what I see here is we have 1-hour demand here. It's decent. We could see a move out of this demand, but what I like better are these zones at the extreme. So we have supply on the 1-hour chart at 1.3545. We could see a move off that supply. And as far as 1-hour demand goes, we have 1-hour demand down here at 1.33861. We could see a move off of that demand. So that's really all I'm showing you. I'm seeing here, guys. I want to just show you guys a few zones that you maybe can use, for day trading or for scalping. So you can use these zones as your higher time frames, because as far as swing trading goes, guys, I'm really not loving it for swing trading until we can get up to these zones at the extreme on the daily chart or on the weekly chart. All right, on to the Aussie US dollar. The past week that banks added 2.6 thousand longs, and they also added 7,000 shorts. Looking at my top left screen here and my bottom left screen here, you can see these two purple zones here. That is what I'm waiting for my swing trading positions. Now, I did get a rude commenter maybe a month ago or something like that saying, oh, you ever take any trades? You wait so long. Well, that's just the reality of swing/position trading, guys. I need to wait for these zones. So that's what I'm waiting for my potential swing trading setup. Now, I know a lot of you guys aren't taking swing trading setups. So what do? Well, that's okay. We have 4-hour downward momentum and trend. And so as far as trading setups go, this is what I would be waiting for. Yes, we have demand here. Yes, we could see moves off of these demand zones to the upside. It's definitely possible, but since we have a 4-hour downtrend, I want to continue to trade with that downtrend. So we need to wait for either one of these demand zones to be removed. And then if we're left with 4-hour supply above, that would be your 4-hour supply zone trade. Now, these zones I have for the YouTube Patreon members, so you get a link to my charts and you would get this 4-hour supply zone if that does take place throughout the week. So that's why I have the membership. That's why I have the chart link as well. So today, unfortunately, I can't point out a zone to you guys, but throughout the week we might have a zone, and I will have that out for the members as soon as these zones are broken. USDCHF forecast. The past week, the banks got rid of 1.1 thousand longs, and they also added 1.5 thousand shorts. Now, the USD Swiss was moving up pretty decent, and then all of a sudden, boom, red candle down. Why? Why is that red candle down? Well, because of this supply here on the daily chart at 0.90. I pointed this supply zone a long time ago. I pointed this out in last week's Forex Forecast as well. You can go back and check that out. So right now we are reacting to that zone to the downside, and we actually did predict that price was going to rally up to that supply zone as well. I pointed out this demand zone here, and we actually got a rally from there. I'm pretty sure a few members got that 4-hour demand zone trade as well. And so for trading it now, it definitely is a little tricky. I mean, we are coming off of that daily supply, but I am bullish the dollar, so it's very, very confusing, guys. So I think right now the only option is really day trading. And so what I would be doing is looking for longs, and I guess you could look for shorts as well. So I would look at this 4-hour supply zone at 0.90. I would look at this demand zone at 0.89. These could be zones that you use for scalping to the downside or to the upside as well. And even if we push all the way down here to this zone at the extreme on the 4-hour chart, we could see a move off of that zone as well. So that's why I'm saying day trading is really the only option here, because there's really no trend. It's very confusing right now, and I think we could actually ping pong between a lot of these zones. So that's why I would use those zones for potential just day trading, scalping. And even on the 1-hour chart here, we do have a few zones as well. Not loving this one, but we do have fresh demand here and fresh supply up here. We could see moves off of those zones, but I think that as far as the higher quality zones, it would be this 4-hour chart. But remember, guys, the USD Swiss, the US dollar is looking strong, so we could actually see this thing continue to rally. So maybe longs are the safest bet. All right, last but not least, we are on to crude oil. The past week, the banks got rid of 10,000 longs, and they also added 14,000 shorts. Looking at the weekly chart, guys, there's profit margin to the upside. That is why I am looking to continue to add on to my long position here on crude oil, because I do expect price to continue to rally up. If we go to a daily chart, we are currently kind of in between supply and demand right now. We are currently reacting off of demand to the upside. I'm hoping we get that push up to at least 74.53 to this daily area of supply. We could struggle to get past this supply and then eventually break out. That's what I think is possibly going to take place here on the daily chart. As far as trading oil goes now, to be quite honest with you guys, the trades have already taken place. We've already seen the trades to the downside and to the upside. So there's really no demand that's fresh on the 4-hour chart for me to point out. If you go to a 1-hour chart, we do have some fresh areas of 1-hour demand down here. We could see moves off those 1-hour demand zones, but they're pretty much just a reaction all from this 1-hour demand zone, so it's really not high odds. So if price does come down to here, I'm kind of expecting oil to actually break down and actually continue to break down long term. So I am hoping we continue to push up. We struggled to get past my supply zone up here, so I'm hoping that we can actually just continue to push up on crude oil. So as far as trading goes now, really not seeing anything, guys. The trade has already taken place from down here on the 1-hour chart. So now we're just kind of letting that trade play out, myself and the members. I hope you guys found this weekly Forex forecast helpful. If it did, I would really appreciate a like and a subscribe if you are new to the channel. And as always, check out the YouTube and Patreon membership if you want to get my daily chart analysis and much, much more.